Hey, it's Emily and welcome back to EA Tarot. Today we are going to do a walkthrough of these blue bones. This is, I think, the third time that I have tried to film this deck. Okay, so I went to do an unboxing of it and it was just off, okay? And I hadn't even started recording. I just sat down at my desk, I hooked up my audio equipment, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. And then I don't even know how to explain it. The energy just felt weird. And so I was like, no, you know what? I'm going to hold off on unboxing it for another day. And so I waited until the following day, which was yesterday. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do an unboxing. Like, I'm dying to get into this deck. And so I filmed an entire unboxing, an entire beautiful unboxing, but something in it just didn't seem right. It just kind of felt a little off. And so I deleted everything. I was like, I don't want to upload that. It feels weird. And I don't even know how else to explain that it feels weird other than it just felt weird. I don't know. And so I'm back here on day 3 and we are going to do a walkthrough because I already unboxed it yesterday. So we're just going to dive in. I love this deck so far. I haven't even had it unwrapped for 24 hours, so I haven't even worked with it, honestly. I've just shuffled it because I am in love with the cardstock, but I will have everything for you linked into the description box below where you can purchase my exact copy. This is Rosebae's latest deck, and so I know she did make it available in a few different cardstocks and a few different, like shipping options, but I chose the Eco cardstock because that's just my jam. And then I chose without a box because I don't know, I tend to wrap my decks, and so it doesn't bother me really if it doesn't have a box. So yeah, no box for this deck, Eco cardstock. That did make it a little bit more accessible to myself financially, but I also don't know how to go on Make Playing Cards and not order 2 decks at a time. So I actually also ordered her Softest Shade Oracle, which is one of her first decks, and so I am going to have that. I'll have like an unboxing, I'm sure, of that at a later time, in a week or so. But yeah, I kind of just want to take you guys through these blue bones and kind of just share my thoughts as we get into it. So yeah, I'm glad you're here. Thank you for joining me, and let's get into it. So the cardstock, like I already said, it's amazing. It shuffles so well. It's like a dream. This is a very thick deck, and I probably should have checked to see how many cards are in it, but I do know it is a little over 100. So it's a chunky deck, and I really, really appreciate it for that. But yeah, I just want to get into it, so I'm going to stop rambling. So we have Broken China, Fishing the Subconscious. When she was sharing on her Instagram, like little teasers of the deck, I was immediately like, what is its name? I have to know its name because I was like, I want this deck. I think it is so stunning. And we have a Quiet Rage card. I don't know. I have been leaning into Sacred Rage, and that's been a topic that has been really, really interesting and coming up a lot for me. And so I love that she has this as a card in the deck because I wasn't expecting that. I recently did a Substack post as well about rage and the craft. And so if that's something that interests you, or maybe you're just like intrigued to know a little bit more, I will drop that into the description box. But yeah, I like this card a lot. Home in you. I just like the elements of this deck, I think are really, really lovely. I'm loving the almost like chunky collage aspects to it. The snake. If you're not already familiar, I'll have Rosebae's Instagram also linked into the description box below, so definitely check it out. But she is crafting a serpent-themed tarot deck that I think she's planning to release in 2026 at some point. And so I like that we have the snake in here. It feels like a little soft exploration of what's to come with that tarot deck. And so I'm excited for that. Your love like nails in my feet. Worship at your altar. These are just like so gorgeous. You and I will always be back then. I really love the font that she chose for this. Like so much. A fish hook, an open eye. I have a like vintage label maker and I live by it, especially in my journaling practice. And so this is like very reminiscent of that to me, and it just feels like home. I don't know. I love this reclaim card. This is so beautiful. Holy in peace. Licking wounds. Joy. The crossroad. There's honestly, like, this deck is going to be one that I know I'm going to be reaching for a ton. It's definitely going to stay out, and we're going to have a really in-depth exploration of each other, and I'm really excited for that. And it's just, I don't know, there's something really unique about the way that Rosebae, I think, views the world around her and how she's able to put that into a form of art that resonates for a lot of people. A lot of people are really, really drawn to her decks. The Devil. Oh, it's so good. Midnight City. And this is a deck too that it does explore melancholy and kind of just like emotional solitude, I think, is what it feels like to me. And I don't have any other decks like this. I don't have any that I can think of off the top of my mind that are like strictly this thick in their blue imagery, I guess you could say. And I'm really, really excited for this. As someone who's naturally a low energy and emotionally depressive person, and I don't mean like depression, it's just I don't know. It's just this deck resonates for me in that sense. Like, it's a very low energy deck, and I really don't have anything else kind of like this. Unspoken. It's beautiful. The poison, and we have a dragon. That's good. Personal tonic. A wish in the dark. Yeah. Righteous rage. Okay, so we have a quiet rage and a righteous rage. I am loving that we have 2 different rage cards in here. After my unboxing that I did and then deleted, I did an Instagram post, and it went something along the lines of like, this deck to me, it feels like upper eyelid winged eyeliner that has cried so hard because she feels everything so intensely in fear of feeling nothing at all, and comes to you with a beautifully swollen face and lips from crying, and it's just like exhaustion, and it's just like you have nothing left to give. And that's what this deck feels like to me, in like the most beautiful and poetic way I can describe it. The profane. Your princess is in another castle. And a lot of these cards are split into like thirds and halves, and I really, really enjoy that element. There's something about that like chunky divide that is really, it really draws me in. Hope to see you again. Sensuality. I love this scene. All of, I feel like Rosebae's decks have like an element of low-key sensuality where it's obviously not the main focus, but there's a nod to it in each deck, and I really enjoy that. That's kind of like how I experience my world and my reality, and I love to see that reflected back. And this card right here is so potent. Rest these weary bones. Weight of the world. Wistful longings. This is a deck too that I would consider, and I think I might at some point get a designated journal for, kind of like what I did with the Witch's Tarot, and go through each card and make my own, I guess, like a guidebook, you could say. But I also feel like, honestly, this deck is so intuitive that I don't want to box myself in, because I have a tendency to do that. I'm like, sometimes if I commit it to paper, it feels like I have to live by it. I don't know if anyone else's brain works like that, but I don't know. I'm on the fence. I haven't obviously decided. The monster you feed. Yeah, we have another snake card, shedding. I think this, you can definitely see her begin to explore the serpent tarot that she's, in the process of crafting in this deck. Suffocating. This is beautiful. I love this card. I really do. It almost feels like escapism in a sense, like for a little backstory, I guess. I grew up in a really small town for the most part, and I was fascinated with New York City, like New York. And life was really difficult for me as a child, and I just wanted something that was completely different than my reality. And so I would like daydream about New York City, and I would find it fascinating that everyone there is just like maneuvering through their days and through their nights without a concern for the person next to them, because it's not like that in a small town. It's the exact opposite. Everyone is so involved in what you're doing. And there's an element to this deck that brings me that like escapism, solitude. I don't know. There's just something, I don't know. There's just something there. Restore. Revelation. Entanglement. Hindsight. The kiss. I love this. Ignite. That's gorgeous. Like, how can you not find that to be one of the most beautiful cards here? I don't know. It's very much an emotional deck. And I know a lot of decks are, but this is like an emotional stillness. Almost like you're reaching for something that you know is not tangible. And there's heartbreak in that, right? Talking to the moon. Bedroom. I cannot wait to read this deck, like use it in actual readings. It's going to be so good. I already know it. Speak. I love this one too. It's so good. To the stars and beyond. This reminds me of something that my oldest daughter and I tell each other, and I don't even know at what point we started it, but she was really, really little, and obviously we were both fascinated by the moon, like many of us are, and I would always tell her that I love her to the moon and back. And then one day I was tucking her into bed, and she told me, she's like, I love you more than the moon does. And I have found that to be so, so beautiful. And so that's something that we say to each other now. And that's what this card reminds me of. I don't know. To the stars and beyond. And I love you more than the moon does. I don't know. It's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. The fog. The locked room. Thread. The use of like this blue china too that you're seeing is, I don't know, like as chunky and as divided, I guess you could say, as these images are, there's a thread. There's a very clear and concise picture of the entire deck as a whole. Sound of settling. Spiraling. I love this. Yeah. Given freely. Open heart. Fruit of the dead. This is gorgeous. I'm curious to know if you have ordered a copy or if you plan on ordering a copy, because I feel like a lot of us, especially over here on TarotTube or, on the tarot side of Instagram, a lot of us are obsessed with rosebae decks. And so I'm curious to know like what your thoughts are. Still, I linger. Yeah, this right here is like that escapism sense that I felt as a small child, like wanting to go to the city. Like I would just live there mentally on the astral, and that like just dream about something more and so different than what I had. I spend all my time in puddles. I miss the ocean. True mirror. I love her use of gold, and we have some like red tones in here too that it's so beautiful. Like just the way that these colors do flow together is gorgeous. Rituals. Oh my gosh. Love that. Dream space. Oh, look at like the moon. Like there's so much that you can pick up, you know. Sight to behold. Cup runneth over. Oh my gosh. Very 10 of Cups tarot feel to me. Coming home. Yeah. I love this. I'm literally so excited to work with it. There are no sweeter words than this. Nothing lasts forever. I obviously, and maybe you don't know, but if you're on my Instagram, you probably do. I work a lot with personified death. And it's been something that has been a constant throughout my life, even as like this started as a very small child. Maybe not working with, but knowing that death is very, very real. And this, I don't know, this deck really ties into this intentionality that comes with working with personified death and knowing that, yeah, nothing lasts forever. And that's the most beautiful and also heartbreaking statement one can probably come up with, you know? Grace. Unheard. The deep dark. Again with that red, a heavy heart. I really love the blue in this deck. I really, really do. I've been having the cross-eye bear. Oh. I've been having a lot of like blue imagery coming forward for myself lately, and almost like this anticipation grief that I can't quite explain. And I'm really, I don't want to say excited, but I'm looking forward to exploring that with this deck, but it also feels a little intimidating, right? It would be so sweet. Beautiful repair. Child wound. Indefinable hunger. So beautiful. Blooming in the dark. Breaking bread. Hauntings in the walls of my mind. Yes, I love this. I love that so much. The rose and her thorns. The chalice. City is my church. The garden. Oh, this is so beautiful. I love this. Light in the darkness. Buried. Detachment. And then we have Genesis. I am obsessed, and I know I said I haven't had it unwrapped for very long, but now that I've done another little walkthrough of it, I am so excited to work with it and to get to know it, and to really see where our relationship goes, because it's going somewhere, without a doubt. This is such a stunning deck, and it's definitely going to be one that I'm going to have out in the open for quite a long time. I know that for a fact. How could you not, you know? Like, this is so beautiful. It's just like, even watching it like come together in a spread, I think is going to be so pretty. And seeing the way that it tells a story, you know, like, this is so gorgeous. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm really excited for it. I can't wait to start working with it more. But I really appreciate you guys for joining me for this. And if you have a copy of it, or if it's something you're considering getting, let me know. I want to hear what you guys think of the deck, because I think it's absolutely a masterpiece, and I cannot wait to get to work with it and get to know her more. But I'll definitely have a lot of pictures, and I share a lot of my practice, honestly, on my Instagram. And so if you're interested in that side of things a bit more, consider, you know, hopping down into the description box and following me on Instagram. I also write on Substack, and so if you're into that, I will have that linked into the description box below. But honestly, if you enjoyed this, if you found it useful, I don't know, consider subscribing. It helps me out, and I hate to plug myself in, but I'm doing it. So yeah, if you enjoy this content, let me know. As always, I appreciate you for choosing to spend your finite time with me, and huge shout out and thank you to Rosebae for crafting such a beautiful work of art. This is a deck that I did purchase with my own funds, and so it is a little bit of an investment deck, but it is absolutely worth it. And from what I understand, she's going to have it available, you know, indefinitely, or for a very, very long time. Like, there's no rush to run out and purchase it. It'll be available for purchase for a long time, from what I understand. So if this is, you know, something that calls to you, definitely consider grabbing your own copy. I think it's going to be, you know, so worth it. But again, as always, thank you for choosing to spend your finite time with me, and I will see you again very soon. Bye.